Hello, everyone. This is Heartwoods Haven, and I am your host, Brandy Swords. And I have a special co host today, Lynn Miner. Yay. And we have a special guest, Tracy Coats. So thank you so much, Tracy, for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So we are going to be talking about insights. So I'm going to hand the questions over to Lynn. So I'm excited to hear. All right, Lynn, you're up.
Well, Tracy, can you tell us what Insight TMS and mental health care is all about?
Absolutely. I kind of the original idea behind Insight came about when I was studying at Ohio State, and I first learned about TMS. Learned that TMS is, not an alternate treatment for depression, but at the moment seemed like an alternate. I was learning about medications that were treating depression and hard to treat depression at rates in the 30%. Not really great outcomes for a whole lot of people. When they work great, but medicines weren't doing the trick for everyone. Then I learned about transcranial magnetic stimulation and learned that we could take care of depression in about 83% of people. And about 62% of those actually went into remission. So at the end of their treatment, we could not diagnose depression. And I looked to see where the closest location was, found it was in Columbus, and knew that people that were in a severe depression weren't likely to drive an hour one way for a treatment that needed to be done Monday through Friday for 6 weeks, and then 2 weeks of kind of a tapering period. And so I was talking to a primary care provider who was local. They said, I know of 3 people right now who could do this treatment and really would benefit. Where can they go? And I said, they need to go to Columbus. And they said, they'll never go. And so that day I called NeuroStar, who is the maker of my brand of TMS machines. And I worked on getting a machine here. And we opened our doors in October of 2021. Huge leap of faith, if you will, and terrifying and all of the things. And started before I had one patient. Got to have some great outcomes, saw some amazing things with TMS. And then came to a point when people were saying, okay, well, TMS didn't work for me. I'm in that 17% of people that don't respond. Now what? And then that's when Spravato came on board. I've been able to meet and interact with the most amazing people that are our friends, our community members, our neighbors, and help them through these hard times, and get to come to another side of mental health when we actually get to celebrate mental health and all the goodness that comes with being healthy in that arena. And it's been amazing. It's been life-changing for so many people, for I think all of my staff and all of the providers that work here. It's really been amazing. We don't just do Spravato and TMS. Those are where some of our really amazing, outcomes come from. But we do medication management. We do therapy. We play some pickleball on the side. Some people come in and dance. We also do group therapy. We get to do some art lessons in that. We have a local artist that donates her time and energies. We have a local pickleball coach who teaches us how to play pickleball as a group. So that might have been more information than you wanted.
No, that's really good, because
Okay.
A lot of people ask me, what's Insight all about, and I couldn't explain it the way you do. And so I'm glad you have come on board to help us with that. One of my questions is how do you determine if someone is a good candidate for TMS or Spravato?
Okay, that's a great question. And it's one people come in very often seeking the answer to. So we look for treatment resistance. And when I first started in 2021, most insurance companies defined treatment resistant depression as anyone who had failed 4 or more medications. And I was having people come in who have failed 20 medications, which is almost every psychiatric medication out there. And people who have gone through that, years and years of different medications, different doses, different side effects, present with a whole lot of hopelessness. There's nothing that's helped. Why is this going to be any different? And that's where we come to this point of maybe you're a good candidate for Spravato or TMS. The current definition of treatment resistance is now only 2 failed medication trials instead of 4. Talk therapy is always a piece of that. Insurance companies want to be sure someone has gone through a trial of therapy because therapy is so effective. We know medications and therapy are about equally effective, even higher outcomes generally with therapy. But it can be really hard to get into a therapist also. So someone who is treatment resistant, that's the first step for both Spravato and TMS. Anyone for TMS, we want to make sure they don't have a seizure disorder. And this could be someone who has had seizures caused by anxiety, so more of a kind of a conversion disorder, something that the brain is really powerful. If the brain is causing those seizures in a non-epileptic way, we can potentially still treat with TMS. And that's because the one medically significant side effect of TMS is a very rare risk of seizure at 0.1%. So it's something that we generally don't see, but we just need to share with people that's a possibility. Also, anyone with metal in or near their head, they're not a great candidate for TMS. But I encourage everybody to come in and find out if they're a good candidate because it's such an amazing treatment. So every year I go to the American Psychiatric Association's general conference. I get the most up-to-date information. I get the latest on medication, all of the latest evidence. And they don't speak about TMS or Spravato as, a question of whether or not we're using it. But of course we're using it. Of course, this is a really important part of treatment.
And my question is, does it matter if you have like a pacemaker? Does that affect anything or?
Probably not. The metal needs to be about 30 centimeters from the treatment site. And the treatment site is this area. So if we can show 30 centimeters that there's no wire, no metal in place, then we're okay with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and then for Spravato, pretty much the same criteria. We want to make sure, a person doesn't have a serious brain, heart, or liver disease in place. We wouldn't want anyone to be in active substance abuse. And that, differs if somebody is in treatment on medication and they've been free of any substance use for 6 months to a year, then likely we'll consider that. But that's something to take into account because Spravato is a controlled substance. But it is very closely monitored in our office.
Okay. Can you tell us what a typical session of TMS looks like and what Spravato looks like?
Sure. So TMS, the first session somebody would come in is their cranial mapping. So they would come in, sit in the chair. The chair reclines kind of like a dental chair. It's very comfortable. And so we do a cranial mapping, look for the location that's necessary for treatment. We have a lot of parameters we look for. We get that prescription, and the person would actually get their first treatment that day. It kind of feels, so this is a magnetic therapy, and it feels kind of like a woodpecker is tapping on your head. My personal treatment feels like maybe a grandfather woodpecker is going. And some people feel like they have a little tiny woodpecker tapping on their head.
Well, I noticed too when I first tried to TMS, it was like I was in a CAT scan.
Yes.
You hear that tapping?
Yes. Yeah. So it's very similar. Yeah. So that magnet is of similar strength to an MRI, and it does have that kind of tapping sensation. An MRI can pull metal. TMS will warm metal. So that's why we don't want to have any metal in or near the head. So, and typical session is about 18 minutes. Some can be a little bit longer, but generally 18 minutes. Person's in and out, can drive home, drive to the treatment, no memory loss. For the first week or so, someone might have a slight headache. Ibuprofen or acetaminophen should take care of that. Someone coming in for Spravato treatment, we wouldn't want them to eat for 2 hours before coming in, or 30 minutes, no drinking, any fluids. Come in for treatment, we like to check blood pressures, we like to check pulse oximetry. We have shared rooms, so we also have an availability of support between patients, which has proven to be really nice, especially when somebody's starting out or when somebody's having a hard day. There's been a really remarkable sense of community that's been formed. It's been really nice to see. So a patient self-administers a nasal spray. That's how Spravato is dosed. And that started a little bit slower on the first session. And then we get up to the normal dose by the second session. There can be dissociation or a little bit of out-of-body experience. There can be some sedation. Blood pressure can pop up a little bit. But generally, patients are very content, very comfortable, and they stay with us for 2 hours after dosing. They can rest, sleep, watch something on their phone, read. We have some nice lights that shine on the walls, and it's just a very relaxed situation. So, yes.
All right. How long does it take for one to maybe see results from the TMS and the Spravato?
Great question. I've seen people respond very quickly to both. More typically, I'd say about halfway through TMS is when we're kind of seeing the average person. Okay, I'm starting to see some things lighten up in my life. I'm starting to see an improvement of the depression. We look at depression scales and anxiety scales with both treatments and monitor those at least every week to look for positive changes. And at about 4 weeks is when the majority of people start to see improvement from TMS. So kind of the halfway point. And then Spravato, generally, Spravato, there is an induction phase, which is twice weekly dosing for 1 month, then once weekly dosing for 1 month. I generally say give it until the end of that second month, so about 8 weeks, sometimes as long as 12, and we've had people it took even longer to respond. So we've had some very patient people that have waited that out.
Yeah.
So if like one of the treatment doesn't work, can you do the other treatment? How does that work?
Yes.
You can?
Yes. Yeah. And I often recommend TMS first.
Okay.
Because you have to be in severe depression for TMS to be covered by insurance. Spravato is covered down to moderate depression. So we're, severe depression, we're talking the most severe of depressions, place where things could get a little dangerous. And we're trying to really preserve life and daily quality of life, function, keep maintaining ability to work, maintain ability to take care of family and self. And that's where TMS is covered. Unfortunately, that's the only place. So I love TMS first. It has really great durability. It's not a medication. We know that 45% of people that do respond to TMS are still doing well at 1 year.
Oh, okay.
Conversely, Spravato is a medication. If we stop that medication, those symptoms might return. So the benefits of that medicine are going to fade away over time. We have seen, however, that we can space Spravato out a lot. Some people require twice a week or once a week dosing for a long time. Some people can go 5 weeks between doses. Spravato also is now approved for monotherapy, meaning it could be the only medication someone takes. That's exciting also. But yes, different times on when responses happen. But the good news is the response rates. And is it okay if I go ahead with this response rates? Because they're pretty important.
Yeah.
I did talk about them in the beginning a little bit. So 83% of people have a response, which is a 50% reduction of symptoms. 62% go into remission. Compared to Spravato, which is about 64% of people have that 50% reduction of symptoms, and 53% go into remission. It's great to see. It's great to see someone come in with in severe depression, and in 8 to 10 weeks, they are in mild depression, or we can't even diagnose depression. It's amazing. I had an especially good day today with a lot of people just saying how much better they were feeling lately, and what a difference their treatments have made for them. Across the board of treatments, medications, normal, regular medications, TMS, and Spravato. It was just a really uplifting day today. And I don't think that's quite typical in mental health across the board.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the misconceptions that are said about TMS or Spravato?
Okay, good question. And I think we're seeing fewer of those about TMS because we've now been here about 4.5 years, almost 5 years somehow. And that, it's this weird magnet therapy. Why are we using magnets to treat the body? But we've been using magnets in MRIs for a long time. But luckily, we found a way to really use this therapy in mental health and have positive outcomes. Spravato, there's a lot of fear around the Spravato. A lot of it is one of the ketamines, but it's the shortest acting of the ketamines that we currently know to be therapeutic. IV ketamine has a bad rap. Any ketamine that somebody might, we've had movie stars and musicians that have died from overdoses of ketamine. This is not that ketamine. This is very controlled. This comes pre-dosed in a vial straight from a pharmaceutical company. It is very controlled. And I have no worries about it. In the beginning, I wasn't that excited about Spravato because I've got TMS and it's not a medicine and it's great and it's easy and it works so well. It didn't work for everyone though, so we needed to find another way. And this has really been such a life-giving answer for those people.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got a good question for you.
Okay.
What inspired you to start Insight?
It's a good question. I think a lot of things did. Well, first, my kids grew up and they all left home. So I needed something that I would love. That probably is the first, my gut answer to that is the kids all left and I needed something to really love and be fulfilled by, because I loved when my kids were home. And other than that, learning of treatments that could be life-changing for people and being able to practice in a way that I wanted to. I didn't know if I could work anywhere and they would bring TMS. So I felt very led to bring TMS to the area, and maybe some alternative therapies, if you will. We are the only practice to have TMS and Spravato within a 50-mile radius. And so that is something that I felt we really needed. Not Spravato in the beginning, but and just seeing people that have struggled with mental health issues not having the answers that they wanted, or not finding the full treatment potential that is out there. I thought we deserved to have that in Chillicothe.
And that's a great answer, because I know how you feel. Like when my son grew up, went to all that, it's a whole different feeling when you're used to taking care of someone and being there. It's like I had the whole empty nest syndrome or whatever. I was like, what do I do now? What's my purpose? I'm used to doing that. It's a whole other thing. It's life-changing. It definitely is.
Yes, it is. So it's been really positive. I feel like I've been able to shift into something that I've referred to Insight as my fifth child before.
Yes.
And I tried to care for Insight as I would my fifth child. So
yeah.
All right. Me being personally and going through Insight, I tried the TMS, of course, and it didn't work for me. So I went to Spravato, and I have just been amazed, just not with just Spravato, but TMS as well, to see the other patients that come through there and just how it's changed their lives. I mean, Spravato has been a game changer for me. I mean, you know. So, and I can remember that first day of Spravato, I think it was either first or second one, and I told you was going to need to be a bigger place. So, since your place is getting full, I'm kind of interested in what your goals are for the future.
It's a great question. So we now have 4 psychiatric nurse practitioners that work here. We have one therapist who is starting full-time in June. We have support from primary care as well. And we are out of space. Yes. So we have
wood.
So I am looking around, searching and inquiring and planning for that future. So I don't yet know what it looks like, but Lynn, you were absolutely right. And I think on that day I said, no, we're not going to need to do that. That's not going to be how this goes. But we're squeezing in a little bit. We're trying to figure out where we're putting the next person. So.
And it may not even been the first or second day. I just know when I started feeling good, I knew, it was. But Tracy, I tell you, I have really enjoyed coming to your place at Insight. I have been to many, many, many mental health places. And as you know, I suffered with suicidal thoughts for over 30 years. And I'm grateful to say that I haven't had any suicidal thoughts for a little over a year now. And that's just truly amazing. But I've really felt good about that. But so I just want to say your staff is awesome. That's where I was getting to when I said that I've been to so many mental health places. Your staff is just top notch.
Yes, they really are. And and that was the goal early on, that I didn't want Insight to feel like a mental health office. I wanted it to feel like a place that people came and they felt safe and they felt seen and they felt a little pampered. Why not?
Yep.
Why not? Why not do it? Why not? Why can't we treat people the best we can?
Being pampered is the only reason I come.
Now I know. Now we know the answer. Yeah.
No, but I'm telling you, every time that I come in there, I'm always greeted with a smile, and that's important.
It is. Yeah. And they're genuine.
Yes.
Our people are genuine and amazing. Absolutely. Yes. Every single one. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, I'm glad that that's your experience. That was the goal. Yeah. From early on.
There's been a lot of people that have had this, just conversations I've had while in the Spravato rooms. Yeah. It's all around.
Good.
And glad. Can you tell us where you're located at?
Absolutely. Downtown Chillicothe. We are in the old, what was here?
Kitchen collection.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
I had to think too. I was like, what was it? Yes.
What was it? Yes. We are on the second floor. The building has been renovated. So it looks nothing like it looked 20 years ago. It is a lovely space. Of course, not enough of it, but we're right off of Paint Street. And kind of straight across from Canal House or the dock, and United Way is downstairs. Park on the side of the building, and traffic lately has made it a little bit more difficult, but you can still get to us, and we welcome anyone who's in need.
If I walk, I don't have any problems with traffic.
Yeah. great. We would love if everyone would walk to their appointments. We know the benefits of moving your body and exercise too. Which,
With all this construction going on, sometimes I wish I had a what do they call them things? Drone. A person drone that was big enough to hold you, and then they could just take you and drop you off at your destination. That would be awesome.
That'd be perfect.
Working on that.
Everybody be bumping into each other, Lynn. Everybody be flying and they'd hit each other when something happened.
I'd probably be the first casualty.
Thanks for Lynn doing
that. It's good.
Tracy, you want to talk too about something that's coming up in May that you shared with me today?
Oh, sure. Mental Health Awareness Month is in May. I know that Heartwoods is having a mental health festival. That's not the thing that we're talking about, but that's one of the great things happening. And last year we started offering ice cream, having a day of celebration of mental health. Instead of mental health being something that the month of May we're sad about, or we think, oh, mental health is really hard. And we're seeing great outcomes. We're seeing people get better. We're seeing people living their best lives. And it's something we want to celebrate. So we are bringing the ice cream truck back. It is rolled ice cream, and it's amazing. Isn't it so good? And the first 100 cups are going to be free to anybody that comes by. And definitely any patients inside in treatment, we bring them some ice cream. Which is what we did last year. It was a huge hit. It rained the entire day last year. Maybe a few moments of dryness. I don't know. But I think last year we gave out 120 ice cream. So our goal is 100. And we don't have a date yet, unfortunately. This would be a great time to share that. But it will be in May. We'll have a rain date also. But just a way to share and thank everybody in the community and to get awareness out. I still meet people all the time that don't know about TMS and don't know about Spravato. And maybe think that's all we do, but we also do medication management and therapy as well. So that's kind of what's coming up in May.
Yeah, we can, Brandy and I can relate with the rain in May, as we got our mental health festival last year was boring.
Yes. We had a table there, and my staff was drenched. Yes.
I get excited. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brandy.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I get excited for things like this that, we, want to bring about more mental health awareness and, let people know that they're seen and they're heard and that they matter and, they're not alone. And it's neat that we can get together and do that. And that's a lot of what Heartwoods comes from. So, yeah.
Good. That's great. And then we have people that carry signs on their back and frequently tell people that they matter. And that's huge. So coming from maybe a place of despair to a place of sharing that good news with other people is impressive.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for everything you do for the community, because I've learned a lot through Lynn and then coming in there and seeing your beautiful place. And you can get like this vibe, relaxing, calming, and friendly. Everybody's just welcoming. It is a beautiful thing that you're doing there.
Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's our goal.
I'm surprised you've allowed me to be there as long as I have, because I'm always picking on people.
Lynn does either pick favorites or fire those same favorites.
Yeah. Are you the troublemaker, Lynn? Is that what you're saying?
Not at all. Not at all.
No. It keeps people laughing. It's good. Yeah.
That's what we need.
That uplifting goes both ways. So
it does.
It does.
You through everything.
Everybody needs it. Yeah.
He quite needs to quit giving me deformed suckers, though.
Oh no. Spravato can have kind of a bitter taste.
Okay.
Kind of. Maybe it's really strong. And some days seem to be worse than others. So we have mints or suckers available. Some of them apparently are deformed, but we love them anyway.
They work the same. It's okay.
That's right. Yeah. We'll take those. Yeah.
That's awesome. Is there anything that you would like to share, Lynn or Tracy? Anything else you guys want to share?
I don't think so. It's just
I mean, I
great.
think we covered everything. Thank you both for sharing your insight and actually about it. So,
Thank you.
yeah. So I appreciate it and you coming on and making the time. And so, yeah.
Good. Thank you. And we have appointments available for new patients. I'm sure that should be part of what is said.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing some wait times in other places of 6 and 9 months. We are we're not seeing that. We're able to get people in within a month or 2 months. And anyone who's in emergency and needs Spravato treatment, which I didn't actually talk about, there is an indication for suicidal ideation. So anyone with acute need, we've had people into a Spravato chair within 24 hours of coming in and learning of that need. So a little more serious note there, but
yeah, but that's very important. You had to get in. Some people, that is such a long wait, especially when you do stuff and everything. That it's nice that you have that. You can get in quick, heated, and it's not such a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Good.
Yes.
Tracy, I appreciate you all so much. I really do. I'm gonna cry now, but y'all will always be right here for me because you've definitely saved my life. I love y'all.
I know. We love you too.
We love you.
And thank you. Thank you for having us on here. It's great.
Yeah.
I love to share the information and if people could know your outcome fully, I think they would be so inspired. I don't know. They'd for sure be in here if anyone had mental health needs and knew where you've been and how much you have accomplished. It's huge. Mm-hmm. And that happened because we have great treatments, but it really happened because you showed up and you didn't give up and you kept persisting. And yeah.
I want to tell you something though. I play it quite often because I miss Dr. Benny, but I've got that video of us crushing that brick and you were standing back like,
I know, I was very afraid of it.
But you were crushing it with me. And I tell you, that meant so much to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than you will ever know.
Well, it meant a lot to me too. And I know it did to Dr. Benny as well. It was impressive. And do you think people know what that is? What that story is?
Not too many. There are a few.
You always got to share it, Lynn, because it's so powerful.
Well, a couple of years ago, I wanted to do a personal walk, suicide awareness, and I was going to walk 30 miles in September, or 60 miles, I'm sorry. And it turned into 90 some miles. But anyway, I carried a brick around with me. And the brick, there were words on there that I would say to myself that, like I'm worthless, I'm no good, just all those negative, distorted thoughts that I had about myself and didn't realize at that time that that's what they were because I really believed it when it was happening. But I put those words on that brick. I let the blemishes on the brick represented scars that I had received over my life. And then not physical scars, we're talking mental scars. And so then the heaviness of the brick, the weight of the brick, the heaviness represented the heaviness of depression. And so when I finished that walk, I wanted Dr. Benny and Tracy to join me in breaking it because they had a part in it as well. And I just didn't want to do it by myself. And so we had the opportunity to do that. I think it was October 2nd or something like that. It wasn't long, like a day or two after I finished that walk. So, but yeah, that was just so, means so much to me. Thank you, Tracy.
Oh, of course. And it was amazing to see you breaking those words that had pulled you down for so long.
Right.
And did you feel that they were lifted? Did you feel?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
And do you have any of those thoughts anymore?
No, I can't remember last time. I mean, every now and then I'll, something will creep up and,
Sure.
Some of the stuff that I'm trying to deal with, and just, sometimes I do that.
Sure.
So, but it's not as intense, or it's kind of like fleeting anymore.
Good.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Good.
Yeah.
So you get to live life easier, happier, more fulfilled.
Yes.
And not quite so hard on yourself, right? Like
Yes.
those amazing things. So, yeah, but I will never forget that day. It was I would imagine not as impactful for me because I'm not the one chipping away at those, but to get to see you do that, it was beyond powerful. So
Thank you, Tracy.
for
Thank you.
allowing us to share in that too. I know it meant the world to Dr. Benny.
Like I said, you all had a part in it as well. So
Yeah. We wore chemistry goggles and we had
Yeah.
hammers. We were,
Yeah.
we were very fun.
You could feel it. People watching that, we could see it through the video, the emotions, and it was so touching. And we could see all you guys. It was very empowering for me to watch, see everything. I was like, wow.
Yes.
You could.
It's amazing. Yeah. All right. So look back. I looked in a little bit at that, but
Yes.
yeah, we were all crying. It was a good happy tears. It was good. But,
And I was playing the song in the background. God's not done with you yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. Yes.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Okay, well, thank you guys for both coming on here, discussing everything. Like I told you, Tracy, we usually just play music and we dance off. You can wave, you can just look at us crazy too, being,
Crazy.
But yes, so thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's great to see you
Again,
both.
Tracy. Thanks again.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the dancing.
Yeah, it's always crazy.
Okay.
Come on, Tracy.
This is not like that.
I don't blame you, not on you. Thank you guys.